You know, just because the weather absolutely sucks some days, doesn't mean you can't get out and still get some shots, especially when you have a lens as fantastic as the 50mm 1.2, which by the way, you can see right there, it needs a little help whenever you're up close. You have to manually focus it where you want it, and then it has no problem once it's in the range of just locking onto what you want, like this water droplet here. That is a wonderful piece of art, but I find myself thinking maybe I want to step back a little bit and maybe try to get the full chair. And as we start to compose and we get our focus where we want it, we almost get a picture of Lolly's ass, and that's totally fine. We can just recompose. Look how steady this is. This is partially skill and partially the 5-axis image control in the Z6ii. I don't like that one as much as the other one, but it's okay, they can't all be winners. We got this rope that's holding up the hammock, and I haven't even noticed the droplets being a cool thing yet. I just kind of wanted to shoot this. And as you can see, I'm like way underexposed. Let's see if I fix that. I don't. What an absolute fail. But I catch it, and I increase my ISO, looks like a little bit. I start to set up this shot, but I don't like the bird feeder in the background, so I take the shot, but I didn't keep it. You can see right here, I kind of start to move around a little bit to see how I can get that bird feeder out of the frame. It's still there, we don't like it. I slowly start to move around and about somewhere in here. Looks about good to me. Bam. And you can kind of still see it a little bit, but it's whatever. You can't tell what it is. By this point, I have realized that the water droplets could be a really cool thing, and so I find this little piece of bark hanging off the tree that I'm gonna end up focusing on, and we're just gonna fire off some shots and see if we can get a water droplet. And while I'm firing off these shots, I just want to take a second to appreciate, you know, the colors that you're getting from greens on a rainy day, and also like this is what the 50mm 1.2 looks like through the lens. And so when you hear me talk about it just looks different, this is what I'm talking about. It just like has a beauty to it. It is that secret sauce of a very premium lens. Now let's see if I got a water droplet. We didn't on that one, but we got a good silvery black and white. And we got the water droplet after many shots. And let's just zoom in to see how it looks. Really cool. But unfortunately, it doesn't really, it's not that interesting in the picture just because I'm a little too far away for it to be that noticeable. But we're going to try again over here. Just look at these greens and these dark browns and tans. Oh man, it just looks so fantastic. I love this lens. We're going to lock in right here and see if we can get some droplets from right here. And damn it, Zach, you fat ass. That was horrible timing. What are you doing? So we're going to try it again. We absolutely didn't get it that time, but we'll see if we get it this time. Probably. We probably got one right there, but I'm going to get in a little bit closer. Still locked in on that spot, waiting for it. Do you think I got it? Hell yeah, I got it, but again, we're kind of too far away for it to be like that noticeable. But if you zoom in, a little bit of motion blur on it, but we did get it. I wish it was sharp right there, but that's okay. This next little spot I thought would be cool, but you can see whenever I focus that branch is just awkward out of focus and the background is too bright, so I don't even take this shot. And popping over here, I took quite a few shots right here trying to get droplets, and the droplets were very, like, just absolutely nothing in the photos. But, I mean, I went ahead and kept really just one, and I'm not crazy about it, but they can't all be winners. It's just okay. Moving over to our next scene, we have some flowers that are coming into bloom, but I mean, honestly, they're probably going to die because it's getting cold again. But that's not going to stop us from helping the 51.2 get in the range of focus, and then it can lock on all by itself really quick, and we're going to snap off a shot of this little bee flower here. Proof that spring is trying to do its job, but its coworker winter is a real pain in the ass to work with. We just maneuver around over to this little metal trellis, and It's not particularly interesting, but I kind of like all the water droplets, and so even though I have no idea like what f-stop I need to be at, but I kick it up a little bit just to get a little bit more sharp. And let's see what it looks like. Kind of uninteresting, but it's nice and bright and poppy. And we go on a really long adventure, and after our very tiring journey, we find some little leaves. These are actually grapes, I believe, or possibly blackberries. I don't know. They don't produce anything, but they make for a nice shot. And we're going to kick it vertical, baby. We're going to destroy that disgusting background to where you can't even tell what's back there. Fire off another one. And then we're going to move a little bit. Boom, fire off another one. And then we're going to play with our distance a little bit more and try to get more in there and fire off a shot. We need to help the 51 too, because I was a little bit too close there. We got it there. Whoa, Zach, what are you doing? That's way too dark. Surely I won't fire off a shot like that. No, we're going to fire off that one. And then we're going to back up just a little bit, get one more, see how close we can get, and a nice little series of beautiful, really ugly colors, but rendered rather beautifully through the 51 too. And of course with a good bit of editing ZWade photo style. See this little droplet here, and it looks pretty cool, so let's pop a shot off of that. I see something out of the corner of my eye, and I look at it and I'm like, oh, that might be cool. And it's not. It's like a twig hanging from a web, and it's heavily backlit. But these leaves over here are of much more interest to me. I play around with my exposure a little bit, trying to figure out whether I want to do a proper exposure or just a little bit under for some richer shadows, and I just decide on both. And as you can see, it's really sharp, but I'm not crazy about the out of focus twig that's coming across. But that's alright. I'm gonna recompose and I'm gonna shoot under these twigs, thinking to myself, a little cold weather and a little rain never hurt a well-made camera and a well-made lens. I'm ZWade, the ZWade, and ZWade Photo, and don't let a little nasty weather slow you down.